Circling the Castle, a 30-mile mid-August backpack. A sensory pilgrimage around the most impressive peaks in Idaho's Boulder White Cloud Mountains. Characterized by white sedimentary limestone, Castle Peak crowns these mountains. Idaho's White Cloud Wilderness was designated in 2015, adding 275,000 acres to the National Wilderness Preservation System.
Well, it's really great to be out of town and up here in the wilderness of Idaho. It's beautiful weather, and I'm looking forward to a wonderful backpacking trip out here in nature.
We find ourselves reflecting on what constitutes wilderness. The Wilderness Act is written as follows: an area where the earth and its community of life are untrammeled by man, where man himself is a visitor who does not remain. Although gaining popularity, the White Clouds are less frequented than the Sawtooth Wilderness that sits just west across the Salmon River. One section of our journey between Ants Basin and the Boulder Chain Lakes demands more vigilance and route-finding skills as we negotiate a talus field aptly named Devil's Staircase. One step at a time, and doing all we can to avoid becoming just another part of the constant avalanche of rocks cascading down both sides of the saddle. Attempting such crossings, especially with packs, becomes quite the conversation piece among fellow backpackers. As we circumambulate the towering peaks, we feel unprepared for the sheer magnitude of beauty that abounds. The relentless power of water and long diminished glaciers that have sculpted this landscape so eloquently. One of the highlights of this route is a cascade of 13 idyllic alpine lakes known as the Boulder Chain Lakes, affording fantastic vistas, great camping spots, and successful fishing opportunities. We slowly surrender to our new, streamlined routine. Daily travel plans, making and breaking campsites. Life takes on a simpler rhythm where one can begin to experience the palpable gifts afforded by wilderness immersion. Our daily concerns and attentions seem more essential and appropriate, and the rejuvenating elixir of a raw nature connection starts to work its magic. Where entertainment becomes an evening spent crouched low among the rocks and wildflowers, imitating the shrill announcements of the adorable pika, busily gathering their winter hay pile caches. As we climb up towards the divide with ever-improving views of both Castle and Merriam Peaks, we follow a gradient of wildflower blooms that is now at the uppermost reaches of this alpine environment, as if chased there by soaring temperatures below. Stark contrast to the rocky hues, the blossoms paint brilliant splotches of color, a kaleidoscopic profusion fueled by a particularly wet spring. Many of these plants are well adapted to survive the desiccation and high winds of these slopes and depend on snow protection during the winter to remain viable. Fireworks of buckwheat flowers display their range of colors from amber to auburn as they age and recover essential nitrogen from oxidation by the intense sunlight. We are indeed transient travelers through this otherworldly realm, but bring a deep appreciation for all its gifts back within our hearts and memories.